What up, y'all? It's your boy Coop, the Super Saiyan Guy, and welcome to Summerslam Predictions. Got done watching Takeover last night. Overall, Takeover Toronto 2 was a good show. The show stealer, of course, was the main event, and Io Shirai and Candice LeRae was absolutely fucking phenomenal. You want women's wrestling? Go back and watch Candice LeRae and Io Shirai. They completely killed in that match. Also, let us have a moment of silence for Johnny Gargano's NXT career, because after this is really ain't shit else he can do after this. Especially how the match ended when they fell off of the fucking cage through the tables where he had barbed wire on him. Ain't shit else he can do down there in NXT. This might be the final call for Johnny. I hope not, because you already know he will be buried the second he gets to that main roster. Welcome to yet another lackluster WWE main event pay-per-view. And you know, I was always a SummerSlam guy. I always did like SummerSlam, and to me, it was always more better in WrestleMania. I used to like how it used to be set up, but here we have. I don't know what's gonna be on the pre-show. I'm going by this match card that I got right here. These 10 matches. So if anything else is in it, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even like. Mostly when I'm looking at this match card, I don't see any tag team championships. I don't see the Intercontinental Championship unless that's gonna be on the pre-show. But we're gonna go by these 10. These 10. I was like I said, and it feels like SummerSlam has lost its luster after a few years. It doesn't feel the same. It don't feel special anymore. So to open the show, we got Drew Gulak defending the WWE Cruiserweight Championship against Oni Lorcan. That's kind of self-explanatory when you think about it. Drew Gulak right now is doing like the best work I've seen him, period. Since coming from the Cruiserweight Classic and seeing it to where he is now, Drew Gulak is incredible. And I've always been a fan of certain technical wrestlers like how he is. He's a very good technical wrestler, just like my boy Zack Sabre Jr. over there in New Japan. He's scrawny as fuck, but he can lock. He knows how to lock, do so many different locks. It's not even funny. Like, the man is a literal pretzel machine. Only Lorcan, he's not. They're not gonna put the title on Only Lorcan in SummerSlam. Plus, I don't think that's really in a solid role for him. I actually think that him and Danny Burch are still probably one of the most overest, hard-hitting tag teams you have in the NXT roster. And I want to see eventually if they want to get championships, or even give them have them face the NXT UK champions, something like that. But I'm going with Drew Gulak to retain over Only Lorcan. It should be a fun match. I'm glad they're going to open with the Cruiserweight Championship. I'm just still kind of a little baffled that the Intercontinental Championship is not on the main card. I don't even know if these are in order. But next we got Trish Stratus versus Charlotte Flair. Everything about this kind of makes me cringe just a little bit. But I will take Charlotte Flair versus Trish Stratus over Alexa Bliss versus Trish Stratus. Now, I want to see if what can Trish still do at this point in time, and has she still been training off scene? Because we haven't seen her on television since Evolution last year. So let's see what she's gonna do. And this is basically a simple storyline. Charlotte believes that she is the greatest women's wrestler that the WWE has ever signed. And she's like, in order to beat a woman, you gotta beat the woman. And Trish Stratus, well, at that point in time, was that woman. To me, Trish Stratus, she was okay. I'm not gonna say she did anything that blew me away or anything like that. It's just my personal side. Everybody, it's like people who have these tastes in women's wrestlers, they always say, oh, they were so good, they were so this and that. But it's like, from my personal standpoint, Trish was alright. Yeah, she got better as she got older, but she really did nothing to wow me like that. But I do respect the body of work that she did put in the ring. She's actually comparing a 2004 Trish Stratus to an Alexa Bliss, a Carmella, or any of them of the Iconics, which are or the Iconics who were some of the most worst women performers they have employed there. She was better than all of them in her 2004 prime. And if this match proves to be right, she probably might still be better than them now. But I don't know what to call this, because I'm like, it's this. I don't see no women don't. Neither women can gain something from it. Well, Charlotte of course has something to gain. Trish Stratus gains nothing from winning this match, and this might be a passing of the torch type moment with Trish to Charlotte. So if Charlotte goes over, I bet you right now, Charlotte goes over, she's getting a title match against Bayley at the next pay-per-view. I guarantee you that is how this shit is going to go. So with that said, I'm going to pick Charlotte to actually defeat the legendary Hall of Famer Trish Stratus in this singles match. Next, we got Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler. Who the fuck do you think is going to win? This is going to be about 2, maybe 3 minutes. Maybe about 2 minutes. It's going to be a spear, probably another spear, and a jackhammer. Dolph Ziggler is there just to rectify what Bill Goldberg did at that horrible Saudi Arabia show, the Super Showdown, with the botched jackhammer. And this Goldberg is just here to rectify himself, to make up for that embarrassment. And what better way to do it than with Dolph Ziggler, someone who's going to oversell everything that man does. Watch how Dolph Ziggler's body flips from getting impacted with a spear. Goldberg's gonna win. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give really don't give it. AJ Styles defends the United States Championship against Ricochet. We have seen this about 4 fucking times. Now, at Extreme Rules, I'm thinking that should have been a stipulation. That should have been a stipulation. Right here at SummerSlam, it should be a stipulation. This should actually be a ladder match. AJ Styles and Ricochet in a ladder match for the United States title. That's guaranteed. That could very well steal. That could very steal the show. But I don't know what are they going to do in this match that they haven't already done in the past few matches that they've already had. I want somebody to be able to tell me that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love both of these guys. AJ Styles is one of the best wrestlers on the planet. You can put Ricochet in that same category. One of the best wrestlers on the planet. Ricochet was actually at NXT TakeOver Toronto 2 last night. So, and I'm betting he's sitting there watching and watching. He could be right back in that mix. And I kind of miss Ricochet in NXT. He brought a certain... It's just something about him. He brought that because you already know how good the guy is. But... just because I'm going with AJ Styles to retain. I don't know what do you do with Ricochet after that. I don't know what you do with AJ Styles after that. And what liable babyface you can have feud with him. Maybe Cedric Alexander. Maybe they should start poisoning Cedric Alexander a little higher up in the mid card. Get some wins and start feuding with AJ for the title. I think that would be a good match. AJ Styles and Cedric Alexander. Both of them are good in-ring workers. It'll definitely be a match that I can get behind and sit down and watch. Next, we have Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. We've seen this before too, but this is the new Bray Wyatt. This is the new Bray Wyatt. The Fiend Bray Wyatt. And he has targeted Finn Balor. He's assaulted Mick Foley, and he's assaulted Kurt Angle. And reports say that Finn Balor wants to take a little break, from the WWE for a minute. Not like just, take a little break for a minute. So, what better way for him to go on his break than to put Bray Wyatt over? Now, the question is Finn Balor going in there as the Demon? Because the Demon has yet to be defeated on the main roster. What if this is the way to send Finn Balor off into his little vacation or his little break, whatever the hell you want to call it, that the Fiend finally destroys the Demon. The Demon it will be no more. Then you bring Finn Balor back and put him in the OC with AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. I think that would be cool. We got a whole dominant, almost Bullet Club faction. All of these dudes were eventually Bullet Club members and two of the Bullet Club leaders. The Bullet Club founder and one of their founding and one of their leaders after he left. So I'm going with Bray Wyatt. It wouldn't make no sense for Finn Balor to beat Bray Wyatt. We've seen this, what was that, a couple years ago? Well, especially when they tried to do that horrible angle. I think in this match, I also think it's going to rectify from when they tried to have the Demon Finn Balor fight Sister Abigail, when they gonna turn Bray Wyatt into some demonic looking woman thing as Sister Abigail. Fuck that. This is gonna make up for that. I want to see if Finn Balor is gonna be Finn Balor the man or Finn Balor the demon, because I think that would go great with how to book him when he comes back. Have him become a heel and join the OC. But Bray Wyatt's gonna get that win because it doesn't make sense for Finn Balor to win. Next we got Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. I am fucking tired of seeing Shane McMahon on television. I am absolutely fucking sick of seeing this guy. And there's the stipulation: if Owen loses, he quits WWE. I don't know. This is a regular singles match. There's no extra stipulation. Now, you gotta remember, he's a McMahon. McMahon's also will cheat to win. And I really don't see Shane McMahon beating Kevin Owens. I'm gonna go with Kevin Owens to win. And maybe it builds him some more momentum. And maybe you could have, since he is a babyface, if Shinsuke Nakamura defends this title against probably Mustafa Ali again and he beats him, maybe you could poise Kevin Owens up in the mid-card and have him start feuding with Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental title. I don't know, but I'm going with Kevin Owens. I'm going with Kevin Owens because I don't want to see Shane McMahon fucking win. Fuck that. Next we got Kofi Kingston. Wait, why is that this low on the card? That's actually should be the second to end match. So we got Kofi Kingston defending the WWE Championship against Randy the fuck Orton. Me and my buddy at Chef Twist have a bet going on today about that. I say Orton's getting that title. He thinks Kofi's gonna retain. I was like, as a business move, because at the end of the month, AEW is gonna crown their first world champion, Chris Jericho. Oh, where did that come from? So, in the event to make a really credible champion, why not put it on a 13-time world champion in Randy Orton going into the deal with Fox on SmackDown Live? That's 2 months away. That's 2 months away. Orton's going to beat Kofi. Orton's going to beat Kofi. And don't get me wrong, the Kofi Kingston experience, it's been okay. It's been okay. I'm glad that we had it. We had our fun with it. We glad we got to see the history made. But now, I want to say it's time to get down to business. They're going to tell him, like, nobody else on that SmackDown roster is more credible than Randy Orton to defeat Kofi Kingston. Randy Orton's going to defeat Kofi Kingston. My buddy Twist, he said he might just kick out of the RKO. What if Randy Orton brings back the punt and punts Kofi's head off? 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton's going to be a new WWE champion tonight, y'all. I'm going with that one. I'm going with that one. Man, I'm actually going good with this. Next, we got Bayley versus Ember Moon for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It's been almost a year since Ember Moon was brought up to the main roster, and this is literally the first championship match she has accumulated within there. They've done nothing with her. SmackDown, they have left her in catering. Raw, they did the same thing. They put her in nothing relevant. When Ronda Rousey was there, and Ember Moon was still on the Raw roster, she was one of the only women that didn't get a chance to get in the ring with Ronda. Almost every other woman on the Raw roster at that time had a shot at Ronda, but Ember Moon. And then there's reports that Vince McMahon doesn't like Ember Moon. Vince McMahon don't like anybody. Pretty sure, I can't say hey, she's not gonna get pushed because of her skin color, because she's not blonde. She's not. Ember Moon was just here to put Bayley over, to make Bayley look like a credible champion going into another match with Charlotte, where Charlotte's gonna get her 10th women's championship. How do you have Ember Moon, one of the most talented women in the whole company, subjected to nothing? There's no way that she should not get a valuable push in a championship opportunity. But Bayley's gonna win. As much as I would love to see Ember Moon capture that title. And I would love to see an actual Ember Moon and Charlotte match, not that bullshit they had, what was that, last week, where you put them in the ring for 60 seconds. That Ember Moon and Charlotte with a championship on the line, that could be into some great shit. That could be a really great women's match you have. And we haven't really been getting that many great women's matches outside of, Io and Candice from yesterday. I think Io is probably my MVP for the women, for the entire women's division, and that goes for all three brands. Has had great matches. And I'll even give Shayna Baszler that because she has to have a phenomenal dance partner in Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler and Io Shirai in that cage match, that was absolutely incredible storytelling. I loved every minute of it. Candice LeRae and Io Shirai shut it down yesterday. They outshined Mia Yim and Shayna Baszler. That was a very, very, very piss poor women's match for me. And the crowd wasn't into it. And I was sitting there watching the comparison. I'm like this. At first, I'm thinking Candice LeRae and Io was going to open the show. I'm like, okay, no, they put them directly after the tag team match. I'm like, okay, the tag team match is always a good match to open up a takeover show. But when them women went out there and did what they did, I was like, that's what women's wrestling is. Not this Alexa Bliss, not your Iconics. These two right here. Candice LeRae is fucking awesome. This woman can take a hell of a beating. She used to wrestle men, so I'm pretty sure. Hell, both of them used to wrestle men. You gotta remember, Io Shirai ain't no slouch. She's definitely credited as one of the best female wrestlers on the planet. The woman is great, but and with the Ember and Bailey, I think it might be fun. It might be fun if they give these women enough time. I think they could actually have a really, really solid match. The Bailey and Ember Moon could have a really solid match. Next, we got Becky Lynch defending the Raw Women's Championship in a submission match against Natalya. Natalya is only in this match because they're in fucking Toronto. Same thing with Trish Stratus. Oh, she's one of our top female performers in our company's history, and she's from Toronto. They're just there to get a big pop from the city. That's it, just to get a big pop from the city. Natalya, don't get me wrong, I like Natalya. She's a really good in-ring worker. She's a solid professional wrestler. She's just boring to me. She's just boring. Becky Lynch has had a very lackluster title reign as Raw Women's Champion because there's really no one y'all put her against other than Lacey Evans, and that's not a good thing. The best thing you can do is Lacey Evans, and like there's really nothing that you can do with Becky Lynch after this. If you do not bring back Sasha Banks to feud with Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's title as a heel, Becky Lynch literally has no one else. Well, what are you going to do? Putting the title on Natalya ain't going to do nothing. That's not going to do nothing. So, Natalya said that her superior sharpshooter against her inferior disarmer. This has been a minute since we've seen a women's submission match. It's been a minute. So, this match could go either way, considering that both use finishing moves that are submission. Sharpshooter is still one of my favorite submissions ever. But I'm going with Becky Lynch to retain that just because it makes no sense to put the title on Natalya, and at the same time, it's a lost direction. The women's division on the main roster is fucking abysmal. And I'm not gonna say I'm gonna include NXT, but NXT has a lot of women talent down there that they are not showcasing. They are not showcased. I mean, you have a good list of women that haven't gotten TV time that are actually really good. Like you have your Deonna Purrazzo, Lacey Lane, Casey Catanzaro, Jessica Mia. Chelsea Green is actually cleared to return. It's some women you haven't seen them. Who else we haven't seen? MJ Jenkins. Most of the women that they did sign from the Mae Young Classic, we don't even see them. They also need to start cross-branding from the NXT UK women's division, because you got Toni Storm, who is still the NXT UK Women's Champion, and I would love to see Toni Storm eventually come to the original NXT brand and start feuding for the title there. There's no reason that everything about Toni Storm says champion. The woman is damn good at what she does, and the women's roster over there is pretty solid. They have Toni Storm, Nina Samuels, Jenny, Jazzy Gabbard, Zaya Brookside, Piper Niven, Isla Dawn. They actually Charlie Morgan. They have a nice Rhea Ripley's, nice solid female roster over there. Start incorporating. You can start showcasing them on regular NXT television. Listen, I mean, even though you do have some other women like over there, Karen Q is injured, so she's gonna be out for a while, which I'm very disappointed about because eventually when most of these other women get called up, a few I want to see in NXT, just because I thought it was this great in Ring of Honor, Deonna Purrazzo and the heel Karen Q, that was money, that was absolute money. That can hopefully I eventually get to see that. But the women's division on Raw is absolutely fucking terrible. SmackDown is a little bit repetitive. Like, you got Asuka and Kairi Sane over there in a tag team that they don't even mesh together. Io Shirai and Kairi Sane mesh together, but now they've given Io Shirai a new identity, and she's now different. She's not the colorful baby face anymore. She's dark, and like if you've seen her ring, I loved her new ring gear. I love her theme music. Io Shirai, I hope they know what they're doing with this heel turn for Io Shirai. I really hope they do. But Becky Lynch is going to retain over Natalya. Natalya's there just because to get a pop from the Toronto crowd. That's all. That was a really cliche outcome in that horrible, and I do mean horrible, fatal four-way match to decide this #1 contender. One thing I'm glad there's no Alexa Bliss on this show. Thank you. So, next, we got Brock Lesnar defending the WWE Universal Championship against Seth Rollins. Same thing as applied with Seth Rollins as it does Becky Lynch. He's had a very lackluster title reign as Universal Champion. I mean, after beating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, the first thing you give him is Baron Corbin. Really? Who the fuck wants to see that? I didn't know. I was not invested in that whatsoever. I couldn't give a fuck less. And it's like, this Universal title was already meaningless to me, and it's just getting more meaningless to me. And I don't know right now. Seth Rollins has been making himself look like a jackass recently, and eventually I think the fans are gonna slowly start to turn on Seth Rollins. I think they're slowly gonna get the turn, and I'm not going with I'm sadly I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar to retain the Universal title. But it's like, who do you position after him? Please don't position Roman Reigns after that. But then again, we got the next big pay-per-view after this is Survivor Series. So we might get, so if we could get Lesnar versus Orton or Lesnar versus Kofi, which hasn't happened yet, and which I think could be a great match because Brock Lesnar works well with the smaller guys. Not saying like Randy Orton's a much bigger guy, but I think that would be a fun match because he had a very great match against Daniel Bryan last year at SummerSlam, at Survivor Series. So this is all I'm trying to see. What are they trying to do to build this up while going into the deal with Fox for SmackDown Live? And who knows, where they end the brand split? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Either way, I'm not going to lie. On paper, this match card looks okay. I've always been a SummerSlam guy. 93, 97, 2002. SummerSlam 2008 was actually very underrated to me. I don't hear a lot of people give that a lot of praise for SummerSlam 2008. I mean, we had CM Punk and JBL, Batista and John Cena for the first time, Edge and the Undertaker and the Hell in a Cell. I liked the SummerSlam 2008, and SummerSlam 2002 was still probably one of the best SummerSlam, if not the best SummerSlam ever. But that's your 2019 SummerSlam predictions, though, man. I gotta dip out a little bit, and I eventually will watch this show to see if my picks is right. I did horrible at TakeOver. None of the Undisputed Prophecy did not happen. If you didn't see it, the Street Profits retained, Velveteen Dream retained, and Adam Cole is the only one victorious. At the same time, it makes him look strong because the leader of the group is still the top dog of the brand. So, and I would think I went with 2 for 5. Yeah, I went 2 for 5. Only ones I guessed right was Shayna Baszler and Adam Cole. Because I was actually going with Candice LeRae to beat Io Shirai, which is wow. But I guess like I said in my prediction video, you want to make Io Shirai look like a credible heel, so you can't give her another loss as this new persona. But anyway, that's Dummerslam 2009. We're gonna see what the fuck this 2-hour pre-show is and what's gonna be on that. Probably the tag team championship will be on there, and the Intercontinental Championship, which is fucking, that should be illegal. The Intercontinental Championship should be right there in this card. This actually should be. If I was gonna place the Intercontinental Championship on this card, I would place it right between Orton and Kingston and Owens and McMahon. I'll put this directly before the WWE Championship match. But I'm finna get the fuck up out of here, man. Hit that like button, subscribe for more, share to your friends. Got more content coming up. I'm still gonna give my final thoughts on the G1 Climax that's coming up. I don't know if it'll be today because I want to see if Block B is gonna have their matches today. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get at y'all. I'm SSG Coop. Y'all get at me later. Peace.